Karibu sana. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel where you can get to watch more powerful and impactful videos. Also join us on the comment section, on the chat section. Chat us up. Tell us what you think about the topics of the day. What insights do you have about the topics of the day? What's your favorite meme for the day? And let's have an amazing time. So let's get into today's episode.
Hello. Well, welcome to Firebrand Nation News. I almost said praise God. Praise God. Welcome to Firebrand Nation News. I'm your host, Firebrand Michelle. Today the dynamics are different. The last Monday wanaume ndo walikuwa walijaribu, si sana, walijaribu. Lakini today I am back with the Firebrand ladies and I'm really excited. Feminism at its best. Anyway, welcome to FNN. Remember to use the hashtag panel this Monday on all our social media platforms, on JBN Television, Firebrand Nation, and Firebrand Nation Kenya on Facebook. So let me start with the lady who mepotea the most. Firebrand Jane, introduce yourself.
My name is Firebrand Jane, you're Sims. Sijapotea sana. I've been online. Jana been called number service, but kuna watu wanasimanga online. I've been very much online. Yeah, I'm excited to be here on this particular segment of FNN News.
Awesome. Yes. Welcome to the show. It'll take 2 minutes. Firebrand Antonia.
But since I left, bado napatiwanga
2 minutes.
Katasia.
Tutajua introduce.
Anyway, my name is Firebrand Antonia Ngaiwa. I am also, glad to be here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm also a therapist. Kindly book your sessions with me. I am good at what I do.
Awesome. I like that. Knowing what you want. Firebrand Joshua.
Firebrand Joshua Joe is my name. Book me in your own. I am a music. I am an artist, music artist, songwriter, vocal coach. Please book me for your parties, weddings, rorashio. What else? Kwa makanisa, worship experience. Yes. Anything that relates to music. Ask your doctor. Doctari.
Okay.
Ni hao.
Your joke may fly over my head, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Thank you for joining the show. Shout out to Firebrand Wilfrida, Firebrand Dan Kings. Ati Dan Kings was coming, but then gari metekwa na wakucha. Hapo Mlolongo. Shout out to Firebrand Dan Kings.
Oh, ni watu wa Mlolongo. Mlolongo ni hivyo tu. Hivyo ndio kuna kuanga.
Watu wa kutoka nitoka asubuhi.
Tulisema tunawajengea bafu hapo huko kwa side. Kwa road side.
And if you're watching us from TV, send your comments on 0722-510-870. Let's hit the meme section. Have Joshua?
Bye. Na sasa ni wakati wa memes. Napenda hii ndio ile masaa ya tunafanyanga ile kitu. Tuacha nianze na meme ya kwanza. Tuanzie huko chini. Ati siku hizi unaenda lunch na your dad. Watu wanafikiri uko na mubaba.
Lives have changed.
Lakini ni ukweli. Lazima ukue very careful. Ukienda make sure mnafanana. Kama hamfanani,
mvae tags.
Jamani.
Father, daughter.
Kwanza unajua atakushika mkono. Na watu pale watakuwa wanasema ule ako na mubaba.
But actually true story. Tulienda na dad Garissa lojua buying combat. And so the thing is, so akasema nipatie aitoshe msichana wangu. And the lady was like,
Wasichana wangu.
you guys be lying. Where? Your father. Where? Tunawajua nyinyi wasichana. Tunawajua.
Si useme tu ni mubaba. Yeah, lakini it happens. Unajua siku hizi kumekuwa na wababa mubaba anachukua mtoto na inakuwa ni hivyo. Anamuita mtoto lakini ni sawa. On to the next me. Hiyo lazima ukue na akili. Lazima ukue na akili kuelewa. Kuelewa lazima. Achana nayo.
Okay, since we are doing bottom up kutoka chini, the second one from the bottom, unateseka hadi unaelewa mbona prodigal son alirudi kwa babake. Mimi mwenyewe babangu anataka kukuja kwangu. Mateso ina limits, kuteseka ina limits. Kuna wali niliona ati baada ya dhiki, sina fadha the methali inafaa baada ya dhiki faraja. Nasema baada ya dhiki, dhiki 2.0. Sasa sasa nataka kuhamia kwa nyumba ya mtoto. Hiyo ni dhiki 2.0.
Yaani siku hizi prodigal son anarudi nyumbani. Mzazi anafuata prodigal son.
Twende tupotee sisi wote.
Kama ni nguruwe tutakula nazo pamoja. Nakuja, ukapi uko wapi?
Tuko hivi.
Tuko hivi. Yaani son, dad na nguruwe wako hivi.
Same was up.
Branje tupatie nyingine.
Baby girl. That is hitting home. Nice.
Baby girl status.
Baby girl ni 55 kg kwenda chini. Tu ya 55 when livestock.
But I refuse to be offended. I refuse to be offended.
You attacking. Simna shout.
Ukijafika 56 when livestock bana. Ya lakini hii ni matusi. Isi mimi.
That's insult.
See.
Ya body shaming na.
Facts. Body shame.
Lakini wewe imagine ukiwa 58 unaitwa baby girl. Surely.
Maybe bones zako ni heavy.
Exactly.
There is nothing to really show that took off. Baby girl, baby.
Emphasize the baby. In the body shaming. Some period.
Akipita ukijua wanaume wote pale tupatane comment section. Mariam aende apimwe weight. Tujue kama uko na
kama uko na livestock.
Uje kama na livestock.
If you're feeding livestock.
Uje livestock kwa ni mifugo.
Umefuga vitu.
Unemeke kwa wapi? Umefuga mtu.
Tunataka kuita kupiga. Ni mbaya.
Umewekwa kwa nyumba ama umefugwa?
For real.
We shall still maintain that.
Ukipita 55 uje umefugwa.
But what happens kama uko na baby girl status na unakula ka livestock?
That is none of anyone's business.
Hata shoe size.
You do not judge a book by its cover.
Achana na shoe size.
Yet kuna dudes wanavaa viatu number 5. A dude
You want a baby girl.
Yeah, dude number 5.
5 and under.
5 and under, yeah. Anyway.
This is uko 60 kg.
Na umepita miaka 24.
Na bado ni last born.
Na bado ni last born.
Mvulana last born.
Number 5. The disrespect.
Kidogo kwa light skin.
Eh.
Ngeka kemikali.
Ngaka chemical. Kama ni whiskey, let her find whiskey. Wamefurahisha. Aya, twende paka pale Thika Road. Tufike pale Thika Road gang. Nakwambia the rich and hustlers separate at this point. The rich take the right turn while the hustlers wenda Ngara.
Imagine.
Jana nilipitia hii barabara and nikakumbuka this nini profoundly. I was like,
It hit home, eh?
Lord.
Na ni ukweli,
Jesus Christ.
Ni ukweli sana.
Very true.
Ngara Globe.
Ngara Globe. Yaani mnakuja pamoja, mnatoka Thika na pale nini? Kunaitwa aje? Hiyo pande. Mnakuja pamoja, mnapiga story. Mnasema vile maisha iko, lakini sasa ikifika ni kuingia sasa mjini.
Nairobi.
Anaitwa separation.
Kuna forest road. Kuna forest road ni ya wazito. Alafu kuna others.
Kuna others, the rest.
Grogon.
Aish.
Ndio nilianga Haile Selassie uko uptown, uko kule roundabout. That is okay. Tutapatana tu mahali.
Well, hii ni interesting. Yeah, wedding. I just said it will end in tears, jokingly, and the bride removed me from the wedding WhatsApp group. Lakini wa Kenya, mtaachana tu na it will end in tears.
Mtaachana tu.
Si poa.
Mtaachana tu. Maybe they have never experienced.
Hiyo ya kuachana tu.
Acha nisiseme.
Unachangwa mara
Hiyo ndio Antonio.
Don't go there.
Don't do that.
Mtaachana tu.
Nilisikia wapi?
Jealousy should not be a thing. Say jealousy should not be a thing.
But ni hivyo tu.
Ni life.
Ni life. Kama hujaiachwa ndio bado unashikilianga hapo. Lakini kama umeiachwa,
Character development.
manze unapigango character development design nyingine noma.
Sasa uko kwa matatu. Machozi tu zinato.
Mimi nakwambia.
Sasa ile mnakuwa separated.
Unaona
Hapo Thika Road machozi zina.
unaona Kenya times 2 machozi.
Kupitia kimende mnaona the same blurry thing.
Unajua kuna kuangana zile. Unaona wale maboy hujulikana ni madem. Unakuanga akina Brayo, akina nani, akina Kevo Jonte. Lakini ngoja upigwe character development na Onesimus.
Utajichukia.
You will hate thyself.
Okay, let's do two last films.
Wacha niambie mwili pole. A phrase which is always followed by a bad financial decision. How many have been victims?
Hapo nakwambia.
Hapa naongea facts. Hiyo si mimi.
Nataka kuapologize ya mwili.
Imagine.
Na fine wine.
Na fine wine.
Baby girl status.
Nakwambia hiyo mimi unafaa kutafutia mimi. Yaani M-Pesa inaingia tu hivi. Unasahau bills zote. Unasahau. Unaanza kusema mwili. Unakumbuka mwili.
Lazima useme pole.
Uliteseka while trying to acquire this money. So what would be the point of thinking of KPLC and Zuku
They will always
when
be
you were
there.
struggling?
But this body is fleeting away.
Lazima waambie mwili pole, alafu unaiambia wiki mzima. Hiyo wiki nyingine mwili inaamka hapana.
We apologized last week. Hii wiki vitu zina change.
It doesn't make sense. It's a fact. It's a fact. Kwanza Kenyans we have these katabia.
Yakwambia mwili pole.
Yakwambia mwili pole.
But it's only in Kenya.
It's only in Kenya.
I am proud to be a Kenyan.
Umetoka
It's only in
nje
Kenya.
umechomwa na jua umeuza bidhaa zako under all that sun.
Alafu siambia mwili ya sana.
Fanya character development honestly.
Machozi. Lazima mwambie
My
mwili
body
pole.
has to feel sorry.
How to apologize in a grandiose manner.
Wow.
Next Yep.
This girl is denying me love, a fruit of the Holy Spirit. Okay? How the audacity. Ananyimwa fruit
Matunda ya
of the
Roho.
Holy Spirit. Eh?
Roho Mtakatifu wewe.
Surely.
Anakunyima upendo.
It's for free.
Freely,
Freely you've been given.
freely you shall receive.
Exactly.
Never even kumbuka last week tulikuwa tumeenda we had gone for a home visit in Joska. One of our friends said mimi msichana anatoka huku Joska Kamulu, mimi nimkatie ende nakatae, mimi na anatoka huku kwote haezi nifanyie.
Anatoka Kamulu Joska.
Okay. But anyway, men take rejection to heart.
Reject. You know, a man is born to win. Yeah. A man is born to win. A man is a hunter. I mean, you don't go hunting and you come empty-handed. If you come back empty-handed, it kills your morale. It kills your self-esteem. It crushes you. I mean, it just kills you.
Real life.
Kama ulikuwa umeendea gazelle, ukahata gazelle ukanini sungura. Si ukaenda
Sungura.
Sasa kama ni gazelle, you don't, and that's why you
Jua kama unazana na baby girl ma livestock. Nini? Umemwambia hapa ni baby girl.
Umemnakwanga na star.
Hebu sikia level yako ni ya baby girl na unaendea livestock. Utaweza?
Watu wenye wanapigia mwili pole mtawezana nao.
There is nothing that hurts a man. Afadhali kitu ingine kuliko amekatia dem na amekataa. Hiyo kitu inamwalizanga mwanaume kabisa.
Basi ni character development.
Surely. Na tuko Kenya.
Na bado inawauma.
Character development is two way. Mnakwambia inanyorosha wanaume hapa nje. Umetoka campus miaka 4, masomo ijai kukataa. Mzana anakuja kukataa.
Mmekuwa na government ya Jubilee for 2 terms na bado mwezi take rejection.
Wanaume, it doesn't work. I was
hivyo wa softy.
It's a very interesting species.
Yes.
Extreme.
Species.
Ni mwanaume.
Sometimes pia watu wapia ndio the price.
Wako the prize sasa na huko ana rejectiwa. You reject a prize.
That's why we are men. That's why we
Exactly. Package yourself.
No, it's the ladies who should learn how to not say no. But anyway, moving on swiftly.
If eyes could kill.
Hatuni venye tu tuko kwa
For
sex.
sex, okay.
Otherwise.
Oh, so let's do a rundown. Which is the best moment for you?
My best meme definitely has to be the livestock. I mean, hiyo ni attack. Acha tu ni hiyo ya thika hapo. Hiyo separation hiyo yenyewe. Haitainitoka. Every time I'm on that road nitakuwa tu nikifikiria this is what.
What's your favorite?
Definitely baby girl.
Baby girl.
Baby girl versus livestock.
Lakini unajua kwa livestock unakuja na grade.
Yes, na fresh.
Exactly.
Hata mimi ni ya baby girl. It's very insulting.
Unajua livestock kuirusha kwa deep venye no.
Inagonga mahali.
Inaguza mahali.
Kuna just okay. Hii nini ati pasta and your sheep. Unatoa sheep kwa shimo. Alafu kidogo
Oh my god.
For me,
Yani
you know, right? The audacity. For me, you are jokes the other day.
It will end in tears. That I mean is up to a group by the way.
na nikublock.
On all
Bad
social
vibes,
platforms.
ataki bad vibes.
Negative.
Utaki negative vibes, negative energy. Lakini unajua inakuanga tu kweli.
Leo ni nini mbaya?
I know. But people are trying to open up and try to say she's good at what she does. Do you want to open up?
Actually, therapy.
Hii tutacha iko behind the scenes.
Mimi nitaachana na wenye wananini tu. atapigwa character development na maisha. Watch na Onesmus. Watch out.
Allah. To borrow from your meme, I said extra kazungu. Usijali utapata na Antonia. She's good at what she does.
Yes. Very good at
Mimi hata sina shida. I was talking for a friend.
Bora nafika. Bora rafiki yako anakuja.
I was just talking for a friend because ile expectation nimeiona hapa nje. Manze majamaa wataumia.
Good looking out.
Don't you all say that?
Wow. So, Esther Kazungu tied the knot. Like what Antonia said, different sports ilikuwa na NOTE tied the knot. Wengine NOTE tied. So she used, we know because Boniface Mwangi, an activist, went on Twitter to congratulate them. After aka highlight that the wedding used 60,000. So let me just read the story. A good example is when activist Boniface Mwangi took on Twitter and highlighted how much comedian Kazungu and her husband James Kibuja wedding cost. They dated for 6 years, got married today. Civil marriage, lunch with family and close friends, total cost 60,000. He added saying, get married for you, stop the peer pressure of expensive wedding. Do the love one chooses. Sasa cha tuanze hapo. Sijui kama 60,000. Sijui kama ni character development, but moving forward swiftly. What do you guys think? Do people do wedding out of peer pressure in terms of the amount of money you use? Is it different folks for different strokes? Let me start with the only gentleman. Because I think the ladies have a lot to say.
I think it just depends with how much you guys agree you want to use and you want to spend. Because even the people who saw the 60,000 as too much for the wedding. Yeah.
Kwanza one person said they should use a tenth.
Yeah, a tenth of that.
Basically 6,000.
6,000. Na hiyo 6,000 wame include hizo za sheria house. Hizo payments.
Yeah.
I think for me I think sometimes we exaggerate the wedding. And from the wedding is for the girl mainly. Yeah, that's why I wouldn't talk much because the wedding, the guy is if a guy, there's no guy who will fancy like spending on the wedding day. Very few you would find them like they are looking forward to spend and I just want to make this day big. Most of them are like, I just want to finish this day and begin life, So they normally, most of the men look at the marriage, but ladies, because they are born to shine and to look good and be flowery, that's why wedding is for the ladies.
Livestock status.
So I think for me whether 60,000 or 1 million, just depending on what the two of you can bargain for. You can come into an agreement and say, this is what we have. If you have money, spend it. I mean, it's her day, spend it. But if you don't have money, again, msijingishe kwa bills. Yeah, at the end of the day, after the wedding, you have a life to live. You have a marriage to keep. And maybe you might have bills to keep also if you're not careful. Yeah.
What do you guys, let me start with Antonia.
I'd like to think that it's in a vary from one person. Kuna wenye they'll sit and think, okay, we might want to spend all this money in a wedding and then, so how about we use this to tumie kiasi and then use the rest now starting life. We now do to buy vitu za nyumba or even buy a house or whatever we need to na hii pesa ingine. And then there are others who really want it grand, want it big, and we can't cross them out for wanting their weddings how they want it. It's about a matter of preference. And like Firebrand Joshua said, if you have the money, why not spend it? And on the other side, tena kuna now peer pressure. You want to keep your status,
Right.
your friends. You move with a group of friends who are wealthy, who are about status. So you want to meet those status. While yet, in actual sense, you don't really need to. You might as well just go the way Akina Esther Kazungo went and did their thing cheaply. So I think it's a little bit of those three, and I don't think Kwanzaa Squeezy. I feel like people have started now getting woke when it comes to wedding. Some people would say, let's just do a karurashio, the traditional, not a traditional wedding. It's kind of also extensive. It's comprehensive. If you're a Christian, you might want to do the church wedding, but people think, let's just do the traditional one and now start living. Like, people have started looking at weddings as not the extravagant thing that people have been led to believe
Right.
it should be. Yeah.
So you're taking it to the new era.
Yeah.
You brought about being a Christian. Jane, this question has been disturbing me this week. Do you necessarily need to do your wedding at the altar? I know, right?
Answer carefully.
I know, right?
Well. Since I wear a lot of hats, let us see which hat we shall answer with.
Or you can just be like, for as long as a pastor comes and we can do it in whichever ground. Is there a necessity about doing a wedding in the altar?
Personally, for me, if you could have asked me like an year ago, if ni lazima, I would have told you no. I would, because even me personally, I want a garden wedding. You get it?
Right.
But this year, I got to understand the importance of doing your wedding at the altar, because in this way, your whole life,
Right.
your stages of your life. Okay, let's say the time that maybe you were born again,
Right.
you were baptized, the announcement of your wedding, zote have been done at the altar. Why do you want this particular thing to be off the altar?
Right.
Why would you want, like, it's a start of, it's an either way tunambianga, the rites of passage, there is birth, there is baptism, there is marriage and death.
Right.
So why do you want this rite of passage to be out of the altar? Because the altar that you serve in speaks into your life.
Right.
So right now, I say yes, there's an importance in having your wedding at an altar. We thank God for garden weddings. We thank God for even the pastors who go there. We thank God for them. But the altar where prayers have been made, you get it? Again, when you had an issue, where were you running to? The altar. So that altar has made your life. That altar has sanctified your life. That altar has built you, has provided for you and all those things. So there's no need of this particular thing because you want the glitz and the glamour. It is very correct to remove it from there. You can decorate the altar as much as you want for it to have that glitz and glamour, but the altar has an importance and a foundation to play in your marriage. So yeah, that's what I can answer. Yeah.
Do you have anything contrary to my Joshua?
I don't have anything contrary, maybe just an elaboration on, there's something that I think as a church and as Christians we are getting but still missing. And this is making the younger generation sometimes feel left out. When we talk about the altar, what do we mean when we talk about the altar? Is it the raised place that we normally, the pastor stands? Or is it that church, that building? Because you might have a scenario whereby a church has a number of facilities, and they decide maybe this is the place weddings shall be done. This is a place specific for preaching, So when we talk about the altar, what exactly do we mean? And that's what I think maybe the younger generation need to get it right. That I like what Firebrand Jane has brought out, that a place where you've connected,
Right.
you've poured yourself, you've worshipped in that place, you are dedicated probably in that place, in most of the setup these days, baptism is done in the same place. So you wouldn't want to, at now this point, disconnect from that place. So for me, I think it's more of a connection. I wouldn't use the word altar for the sake of the layman language of that younger generation who don't understand the altar. But I will say a place where you have connected spiritually and you've connected your faith. That's the place you need also to connect with your wedding. If you've been connecting to that ground, that garden, if that's a place where you've been worshiping and you've connected, you go do it to that place. Because at the end of the day, it's about the connection between you and God. There's one thing I usually say, it's not about the place of the wedding. As long as Jesus is there, even if it's in a pit, do your wedding there. Because it's Jesus that you will need to keep that marriage. You know, at the end of the day, when things go wrong in your marriage, you will run to Jesus. You'll run to God. I mean, it's God, you know. But now we're bringing the aspect of the altar because God is there. Like Jesus is there. When you cry to God, you know this is a specific place I go to cry to God, you know. But I'm trying to bring this, like we need to have a distinction. Like it's not about more of the place, it's about the power in the place. It's about the God on that place.
Let me get it straight. So like times the Abraham and Jacob, if you're wherever you're headed, you can set an altar. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And since in the 21st century we don't expect to be going like Jacob and Abraham, that's why we've set this specific place. I honor this place. I reverence this place. So I would like to because marriage is a covenant. I would like to make my covenant from this specific place. And that's why we choose the church. And you will see even those people who are not even born again, they don't know, they would still, because they understand, there's something they understand, they would like to do it in church. But it's apparently, it's happening that those who are in church are the ones who want to go and do it in
the garden.
Yeah.
I personally think they would want to do that because of an aspect of, and we won't enter into that, an aspect of church hurt. So that if the person who hurt you is the person who climbs that altar, and using that term very loosely, climbs the altar, then you don't feel like that is the place you're connecting to.
Right.
But I think there needs to be a difference between the person and the altar itself. Awesome. Firebrand, do you have anything to add?
Well, I guess
they have
yes,
given comprehensive.
Yes.
Awesome. Let's leave that point. Actually, today we are just dealing on relationships. Let's head to Ferdinand, dubbed the son of speed. He set a new record, just to give a backstory of who he is. He set a new African record of 9.76 seconds to become the 8th fastest man of all time. 100 meters runner, fastest man in Africa. And then he had survived a 14-month ban. He took a drug that happened to be a steroid. He took it as a painkiller, but then it happened to have steroids in it. But why am I talking about him? It's because when he was doing a transition, the ban happened in 2016, so he was 2 years out. When he was happening a transition from playing rugby to joining athletics, his girlfriend, he says, was paying the rent, taking care of the bills because she was working. She would bring money to the table and say, this is training. So they would have a kampunji. This is for training, this is for rent, and this is for food. And the runner joked saying, hii beli imefungwa, yenye iko sasa imeraruka. So hii beli ya wasichana. So before tuanze kwa beli ya wasichana, ladies, let me put my bench aside. Would you support your boyfriend to that extent? Moment of silence.
Have you used the term boyfriend loosely?
Exactly. I'm stuck at boyfriend.
I'm using it in a strong term, as a very strong term.
What? I think tuko in a very interesting era. And niseme kama huyu alisema alinyimwa fruits za Holy Spirit, but it's what we cultivate while dating ndio tunai bring into marriage. But Kai Jehovah.
Jesus.
It's difficult. I mean, you can say that. I mean, let me say this: you can do that. The possibility, the ability of doing it is there. But I think it's also individual for one to choose to actually do that. I wanted to say that you are an individual ndiye anajua kama anajua that person to put their finances and their let me not say trust, but seme tu finances into nikaku invest into that person's career. Ama supporting them. And you never really know someone. You can never fully, truly know someone. So, honestly, this is a very difficult question to answer. I do not know. I don't know what to say, but I think it's up to choice. If you feel like you want to support your boyfriend with in your dating or relationship, do it.
Do you, boo?
Do you?
Yes.
Jane.
Well, am I supposed to speak for myself or just to the way Antonia said, you can?
Feel free, express yourself.
Okay, for me, a boyfriend in that capacity as that lady did, I wouldn't. Because this is our boyfriend. This is someone that we are still getting to know each other. We are just still in the dating phase. And there's no confirmation of, well, I'm his wife and all those things and blah, blah, blah. Because a lot of the way that, again, especially if you're in Kenya, the way that things are built up, it's easy for someone to just leave you as you are as a girlfriend. That it could a lot of things that can happen. And then also as a boyfriend and girlfriend, there are some things that for me, when you start putting together to that extent of, I am paying you bill, I'm paying you training, I'm paying this and this, I'm and I'm just a girlfriend and you're just my boyfriend, I just feel in boyfriend and girlfriend, there is a limit or there is a boundary that for me, I wouldn't cross. But if we were in another setup, and that is married setup, this is my husband and I'm his wife, I wouldn't have a problem in supporting fully. Yani hata kama, yes, and I understand we're saying fully, but there are some days you will feel drained. There's some days you'll ask yourself, is it really worth it and all those things? But I would still continue to support him and move past those kind of days. But because this person right now is my boyfriend and girlfriend, and as Antonia said, we're living in peculiar times that, well, for someone who's a boyfriend and a girlfriend, it's like now when they come to live together, apparently when Kenya has legalized it, it's like a marriage. They can say it's like a marriage. And that's how the new thing, the new age has termed it to be, so people can feel it's okay to support it and whatever. But even if we are in a new age and in a new era, I still stand with the word of God that for me, that's not really a marriage. You're getting, that is just, okay, I don't know if I should say like Michelle and use this very loosely. I don't know whichever. It's just two people who have come together and are fornicating, lack of better words. You're getting. So yeah, me, the capacity of a girlfriend and boyfriend, even if I am in a capacity, I cannot cross a certain boundary to that extent like she did. But kudos to her.
Just to say something, probably if it's one good one good time deserves another, one good whatever, how that saying goes. If probably the boyfriend has been helping me, not in a cohabitation situation, but in one way or another has been helping me somehow. Amekuwa akinisaidia before probably he hit hard times, and while he's in his lowest times, I am able to support. I would. One good turn deserves another. Nimekumbuka. So since alinisaidia while I was not in my best, then I can support while he's not in his best. And at such circumstances, I would.
Joshua? Now you can count it up from the side of a guy. Yeah.
I think first, there's an aspect of friendship, and sometimes you would help a friend. That's where we're starting from before the cohabiting part. So you would help a friend just because they are good friends, and you would sometimes have to go an extra mile. And then friendship is an investment. You invest in a friend because you don't know about tomorrow, and you invest because you love them. And then another thing is, I wonder how you can trust someone with your heart but not your money. This is Kenya. I mean, I just it's so funny how we trust people with our hearts like completely, but we don't trust people with our money. And then when it comes to the issue of them being married and or not, one I would ask, had the guy gone to the parents, the girl's parents, had he paid dowry? Or because this lady might have seen the future. When you look at someone and you see this is a potential person, and you guys have talked, and there's a place you're heading. And as Firebrand said, these people had sat together. So the lady definitely had seen the heart of this guy, or she could have seen like where we would be in the next. The potential of this guy, number one. Actually, the girl is an investor in this sense.
So she's taking a risk.
She's an investor, and investing is taking a risk. Because you see the potential of this person and see like 3-4 years, this guy will have made it.
Sorry to cut you short, but then this risk has no guarantee. Because at least in a business, you sign a document.
Right.
So in case the risk falls, you don't remain dry.
But the question is, if you've already invested your emotions, you've invested your heart. So what is it hard? Why is it hard to invest your finances?
We work for money, we didn't work for the heart.
No, money is even easier because you can lose the money and make more money than lose the heart. Before recovering, you would lose even the money. So for me, I think it's not something we would advocate for that everyone should go for, but that alone makes Ferdinand like. He would never look back.
Does it?
In terms of I didn't finish my statement.
It's okay.
He would never look back in terms of forgetting.
So he has a leash.
What this person did,
So he has a quote unquote a leash.
Yeah.
Anytime he wants to do anything against it, he has to remember.
Yeah, it's something you remember. And I like what our reverend has always told us, that you need to look at that one thing that you would stick. And that could be that one thing that this guy would be looking and say, even if things are going bad, but because of this I have to change. I have to put my act together. And also to quote on Rev Evans, he said, if you're dating someone and you are like assisting them on any issue, be it financial, emotional, do it and expect nothing in return. In this sense, if they ever change and they look for other people, then do not put your emotions on that thing. You just give it in case akuja change, we bado uta move on in life.
So ni kazi ya msalaba.
Seeing it like that kind of makes sense.
As you bring the discussion,
it's like kusema tenda wema nenda
zako. Yes.
So ubaya ni ati the emotions ziko involved. No, that's
because sasa inakujanga inakuwa ati umse kwanza nilimlipia school fees. Nilimlipia rent.
Nilimlipia token.
Imagine you light up his world. I lighted up his world. I mean, alafu amekuja ananiangusha.
Also, as we bring the discussion to a close, I give you one minute to give a parting shot. Let me start with Firebrand and Antonio.
I think FNN News will know, Firebrand Nation News will know me with this. I keep on saying it all boils down to the both of you. When it comes to weddings, what is convenient for the both of you? When it comes to wanting to invest in someone, still boils down to you as an individual. Are you expecting something back, like you said? Are you expecting something back when you put your money on that guy? When you're betting on that guy? Mm-hmm. Ama, you're just doing it because, let me just do it because sometimes as a human being you need that help, and as the person in that position to help, let me do this. Mm-hmm. So it boils down to you as an individual. What do you stand by? What are your principles? What are your standards? The basis of who you are as an entire human being. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Firebrand Joshua?
Yeah, just Firebrand Antonia said. What are your core values? Mm-hmm. What is your accountability status? Mm-hmm. How open are you? I mean, how authentic are you? Because these are the things that are going to make somebody to be trusted, and these are the things that someone will look and say, if I'll invest in this person or not, how true are they? Because if they've lied before, you wouldn't want to invest in them again. So those are the things, the fundamentals.
I think I'll end mine with a question. It's been 4 years later, and that girl is still under girlfriend status with one child.
Family pesa ya nini?
Yeah, I just like to end mine there. Yeah.
Well, I'm a bit conflicted with this issue. I'd say courtship is a ministry, not dating. Courtship is a ministry. Because when it has courtship, the risk, you might have not really a document signed, but then a leash. Because when your courtship leads to marriage. So that's what I'd say. If you're doing a courtship, then I think you're safe. But when it comes to money as well, I think they're very thin lines. Personally, they're very thin lines when it comes to money. I understand the issue of the heart, but then when it comes to money, I think the marriage certificate plays a great role. That's what I'd have to say. Well, thank you so much for joining me for FNN Monday edition. Remember to use the hashtag Panelist Monday on all our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's Firebrand Nation Kenya. And if you want to leave your comments, if you're watching us through TV, leave your comments on 0722 510 870. And until next Monday, love God, love others passionately. God bless.
Hi guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. If you would like to join the Firebrand Nation movement, go to our website at www.firebrandnation.com, sign up and someone will get in touch with you. Also follow us on our social media handles at Firebrand Nation on Instagram and YouTube, and Firebrand Nation KE on Facebook. Remember to love God and love others passionately.